lying in the sunshine, wait at home and watch the rain. You are young and life is long, and there is time to kill today. Oh, hey, what's going on, class? I didn't notice you there. Let me put that guitar away. All right, happy Monday. I hope you all had a great weekend. If you have any cool songs you want me to play before these videos start, go ahead and email me or send me a private message on Google Classroom. I can work on them and get to it. Today we are on lesson 7 of Zearn. That is make and measure. We'll go through the objective in 1 second. Before we do, you should be through lesson 6 to a degree. If you aren't done your first 6 lessons, it won't even let you start lesson 7. Most of us are on the same page, but if you're not, just know to finish a lesson, you have to do the fluency activities. You have to do the guided practice. Sometimes it's learning lab, sometimes it's math chat. And then you have to finish off that lesson with the Tower of Power. Until you do these 4 activities and finish the Tower of Power, it will not let you move on. So keep that in mind. If you're confused, if you have questions, let me know. No, don't put it off. A few of us have been putting it off, and that's just more work that's going to build up. All right, remember, this work is being graded, it is being checked, and I get a report each week that lets me know what you guys have done. All right, so we are on lesson 7 today. The name of the lesson is Make and Measure. The objective, I want you to read it to yourself as I read it aloud. Students will be able to measure and draw angles, sketch given angle measurements, and verify with a protractor, with a protractor, one of these things. Boom, I have this nice big one. Look at me. Yup, it's like a picture frame. Maybe this way works a little bit better. In the classroom, we would be using this on the board. I would stick it up. We would draw angles. I have a few of these. When we get back in there, we will be practicing. If you don't have a protractor, that's okay. Zearn provides you one, and then you can look one up online. The easiest way to look it up is to go to Google. Just like this. I have a second tab. In Google, type in protractor and press enter.
Bevel protractor.
Click on images. All right, there's a bunch of images here. I like to scroll down and find one that looks pretty sharp, pretty clean. I'm going to use this one. Now what I'll do is I'm going to right click, and it gives me a few options. I'm going to click Open Image in a new tab. And a new tab will open, and this one's kind of small. If it's too small, that's okay. You can go back and try another one, or you can just click the image. You might even be able to use the one right on this page, but essentially you just want to find one image online that'll let you use the protractor. I'll explain that in a second when we get to those activities. I have one up here. I hope y'all can see my iPad. If you can, I'll move the screen. There's my protractor. I'll show you exactly how I'll use it to measure angles if you don't have your own. Now, if you can't find one online, if you're having trouble, Zearn provides you one, so just follow those examples. I think you guys will do fine with that. All right, let's jump right into our lesson. Remember, you are responsible for your fluency and your number gym and your discovery canyon, all your fluency activities. I won't be going over those, all right? I will be helping you out with your guided practice. So let's go ahead and click Math Chat to start. Remember, we're on lesson 7.
What's up, Math Star? Let's use our arms for some math. Do this with me. Model a right angle. Now, an angle that measures approximately 80 degrees. Next,
Do it with me, my
an angle
friends.
that measures approximately 10 degrees. Nice work. Let's Zearn.
All right, my friends. I'm going to pause for a second. I want us to try that one more time. Check me out. 90 degrees, sort of like a perfect L. 80 degrees would be just a little bit smaller, so I'm closing out a little bit. 10 degrees, really small. What would 45 degrees look like? If you want to take a picture of yourself doing 45 degrees and send it to me to double check, I would love to see if we can do a 45-degree angle with our arms. All right, my friends, let's get into our first activity here. Use the circular protractor to measure angle CAB. Angle CAB. That's our little angle symbol. Here's our angle. Oh man, this thing is oriented a little bit awkwardly. It's facing down. Angles don't have to face in either left or right in a perfect direction. They can face any direction. When I say orient, I mean how the positioning of our angle. So it's open sort of downwards here. What I'm going to do, remember, you can pull your protractor up by clicking show. Here's our protractor. We're used to these. These are 180-degree protractors. They're half circles. This is a full protractor, a circular protractor, or a 360-degree protractor. So how do I use it? Well, to measure this angle down here, I need to line 0 up. Notice 0. I need to line 0 up with one of these lines. Now, which line do I line it up with? If I line it up here, I can measure. It's hard to measure backwards with this because some protractors will go backwards, but this one doesn't. So I'm going to line 0 up with ray AB, and I'm going to start to measure in this direction towards C. All right, so I can see we have 10 degrees, 20 degrees, 30 degrees, 40, and it looks like this is 45 degrees. So this angle right here is 45 degrees. Let's plug that in. 45 degrees. You got it. Good work, my friends. All right, this time we're going to use the 180-degree protractor to measure angle CAB. This little dot right here above 180. I know we've seen these before. If you haven't, that's okay. This means degrees. You use degrees when you measure angles. What else do you use degrees to measure? If you come up with a response, shoot me a message in Google Classroom. Let's see how many people can tell me. All right, so let's pull it up. Show. Boom. All right. So this time we have a 180-degree protractor or a half circle. All right, how should we measure this? Let's do it the same way. We want to click it, then we can, once we click it, we can rotate it. Make sure you're holding on to it. Remember, we want 0 in the same position. Here doesn't help us. We can't measure that angle, that opening. So we want to rotate that 0 down so it's aligned with ray AB. And now we can do the same measurement. From 0, we have 10 degrees, 20 degrees, 30 degrees, 40 degrees. We're sort of skip counting. 50 is too large. It's not that wide. It looks like 45 again. Good work, my friends. Nice job.
Lucas.
I measured angle CAB using the
All right, my friends, you are watching these videos. They're pretty short. They're usually like a minute long. I want you to pay very, very close attention. I will see you in the next problem set.
circular protractor.
All right, my friends. Now we are measuring the outside. That's key. The outside of angle QRS. They tell us how to do it here, but before we do actually measure the angle, I want you to tell me this angle here, it's massive. Okay? What do we call an angle that's longer or larger than 90 degrees? I want you to say it out loud. Oh, yep. I think I heard Stephanie say an obtuse angle. Very nice, Stephanie. All right, my friends. Now we need to measure that. This is the inside. This angle. We're not measuring that. Not yet, anyway. We're measuring the outside, this long angle. All right. Let's line up RS and 0 and see where RQ touches the protractor. I'm going to show you how to do this here. Let's show our protractor. It's a little bit tricky to line this up. You can spin it. Maybe get that out of your system for 10 seconds. It's kind of fun. All right, now we're ready to get back to work. So I need to come down, and this time I want to make sure RS that line segment is lined up directly on our 0 line. Notice our 0 line here. I'm going to shift it so that it's directly lined up. And now I want to measure the outside, so around. So I'm going to skip count. I want you to skip count with me. Go ahead and whisper with me. We have 0 degrees, 10 degrees, 20 degrees, 30 degrees, 40 degrees, 50 degrees, 60 degrees, 70 degrees, 80 degrees, 90 degrees, 100 degrees, 110 degrees, 120 degrees, 130 degrees, 140 degrees, 150 degrees, 160 degrees, 170 degrees, 180 degrees, 190 degrees, 200 degrees, 210 degrees, 220 degrees. Whew. 230 degrees. That is a big angle. Let's plug it in. 230 degrees. Nice job, my friends. Good work. Now, just think about this question. This might be a really good one to plug into Google Classroom and to respond to me. Before you do it, what do you think? Can you use a 180-degree protractor to measure QRS? Can you use a 180-degree protractor to measure QRS? That's one of these. They're a half a circle. They only go up to 180. Let's see if we can find it. There should be one on both sides. 180 degrees. Go ahead and send your responses to me on Google Classroom and then click Next.
Lucas.
With the circular.
All right, my friends, which of these two angles is easier to measure with the 180-degree protractor? What do you guys think? I think if it's 180 degrees, we know that the outside's larger than 180 degrees. So the inside looks like it's much smaller than 180 degrees. 180 degrees is our flat line. And this right here, QRS, the inside, isn't quite a flat line. All right, it looks like it's slightly closed. So I think the inside is easier. Excellent work. Now let's go ahead and measure the inside. Show that protractor by pressing show. We want to line it up. All right, we could do 0 here, but remember, we're not measuring the outside. This is not going to help us. That's a different angle. Let's erase that. So I'm going to press and hold and rotate just a little further. And now I can see I have my degrees underneath. I can measure that inside angle. I can measure this guy right here, how wide it is. I start at 0. Let's skip count. 0 degrees, 10 degrees, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130 degrees. Let's plug it in. 130 degrees. Nice job. How many degrees is the full arc of the circle around point R? Basically what they're saying is this circle right here. How many degrees are in a perfect circle in one circle? Who remembers this from, I think it's maybe 2 or 3 lessons ago? Go ahead and pick your answer. If you said 360, you are correct. Remember, 90, that's a quarter of a circle. Think of your L, all right? Or the corner of a square or a rectangle. 180, that is a flat line. That's 2 of these put together. 90 and 90 creates a flat line. That's 180 degrees. 360 is all the way around our circle. The angle measurement of a whole circle.
Sophie.
Inside angle QRS.
All right, my friends. Here the question gets a little bit trickier, but I think you'll enjoy this. Notice what they've incorporated. We have an X here. Let's read our question. If the whole is 360 degrees, our whole circle, and one angle is 130 degrees, so this angle is 130 degrees. Complete the number sentence for the other angle. So we want to find X. So what we can do is we can take 360 okay? Because that's our entire circle. And we use subtraction when we find the missing piece or a missing quantity. So 360 minus what we know, 130, and that gives us what's left over. 360 minus 130 equals X. Excellent. Now, my friends, you will have a question just like this on your exit ticket. So I want you to pay very close attention to it, okay? You can solve this without a protractor, but you need to know that your whole circle is 360 and you subtract one piece of that circle to get the remaining piece. When we do this subtraction, 360 minus 130, I want you to do this on your own. A lot of you can do it in your head. If you can't, try it on a piece of notepaper. That's totally fine. If you got 230, I believe is our answer. Let's see. You were correct. Very nice job.
Lucas.
We know that the whole minus a part.
All right, y'all, make sure. So we're going to be taking a couple notes here. You don't need these note pages. All you need is a piece of scrap paper, something on the side to write down your ideas. Let's go through it. All right, we're going to draw an 80-degree angle. So remember, if you have a protractor, this is where you want to take it out. If you don't have a protractor, you may want to pull one up in a separate tab on your computer, just like I showed you. Look it up on Google, and you can use the one on your screen. Let's see if I have mine here. There it is. There's mine. I have a separate screen for you guys. All right. So we want to start by drawing a ray. Remember, a ray has one end point and then an arrow at the other side. All you'll need for this is a straight edge. My ruler is downstairs, but I don't even need a ruler. I could use the edge of a book, right? So what you want to do, take a piece of paper. It can be a line paper. It can be blank paper. It can be anything. And I want you to draw a point. And then take your straight edge, line it up with the point, and draw a straight line. Notebook paper is really nice because it'll give you a straight line automatically. It's got lines straight down the page. Notice my straight line. It's right there. All right, I have to label that point A. Make sure you put the name of that end point. There's our straight line. Go ahead and pause the video and try to do that now. All right, my friends.
The next ray's endpoint should also be point A so that you can form an angle. Watch as I line up my protractor, placing the center over the endpoint A and making sure my ray lines up with the 0-degree line. Your turn.
All right, so what we want to do now, and this isn't totally necessary. You want to rip it out. The good thing about this note paper is it's pretty transparent. I'm going to put it on my protractor and just make sure that it is lined up with A, or with that A is lined up with 0 degrees. It looks like it is. If you have a protractor, you can just use it to test it. It's a little bit tough to see on this screen, but you want to make sure that that line is lined up with your protractor on your screen. If you're having trouble with it, that's okay. They're going to give us a really good explanation in the next slide.
Next, I look to see where 80 degrees is on the protractor and place a small point here. I use the straight edge of the protractor to create a ray beginning at point A towards the point. Now that the angle has been made, I verify the measure with the protractor. Go for it.
All right, my friends. So we have our ray. I need to figure out where 80 degrees is. So I need to know, where do I put my next dot to create an 80-degree angle? Well, if I hold my paper up to the protractor and I look at where 80 degrees is, all right, I have it right here. All right. I used the protractor. I drew another dot right there at the top. All right. All I have to do to finish my angle is with my straight edge or ruler, I need to connect this dot and I need to connect it with this point right here. These 2 points need to be connected. Use your straight edge now. There is my 80-degree angle. Notice it is slightly smaller or shorter inside than a 90-degree angle would be. A 90-degree angle would be like right out here a little bit. It'd be a perfect L. To test it, just hold it right up to your protractor. Make sure your point A is right in the middle. The bottom line is lined up with 0 degrees, and it should be just about 80 degrees. It looks like mine checks out. Double check yours now. All right.
Let's draw another angle. Use your protractor to construct a 133-degree angle.
All right. So between which two tens on the protractor would you find 133 degrees? When they say tens, they mean intervals of 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Those are all tens. What two tens would 133 fall between? You can pause the video and put it now. All right, 133, we have 130 here. So 133 would be somewhere right around here. So the two tens they're between are 140 and 130. Let's press enter. Nice job. All right, move the arrows. Let's construct a 133-degree angle using a protractor. So I can move the protractor 5 degrees here or 1 degree here. It's starting at 0. Let's move it to 133 degrees. There's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 degrees, 60 degrees, 70 degrees, 80 degrees, 90. What do we call a 90-degree angle? Shout it out loud. If you said a right angle, you were correct. Nice job. 133. We're at 130. Now we'll go to our 1 degree button. There's 130, 131, 132, 133. Press enter. Nice job. All right, if you have a protractor, I want you to create that angle on your own. Start with your ray, line it up with 0 degrees, and then create another point at 133 degrees. If you are having trouble with your protractor or you don't have one, they'll give us an example on the next slide, but try your best.
Sophie, share your solution.
133 degrees isn't on the protractor, but I know it's between 130 and 140. So I started at 130 and counted tick marks until I found it. 131, 132, 133.
I love it.
I love it too. Nice job there. And this is what our 133-degree angle would look like drawn out.
Today we learned how to measure and draw angles with a 180-degree protractor. Measure your way to the Tower of Power.
All right, my friends. Nice job. We're going to go through the Tower of Power now. You can pause the video and try it on your own before you watch. If you're struggling, you could watch this video too. Once you're done your Tower of Power for this lesson, we're going to go right to our exit tickets. All right. Let's get it going. All right, my friends, we are into the Tower of Power. We're going to use the protractor to measure this angle. Show the protractor to start. It's a circular one that's 180 degrees. Find 0 degrees. I see it right here. 0 degrees. Boom. I'm going to line that right up with RS. That is ray RS. And then we're going to count the degrees. We're going to count up. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 degrees. Let's plug that in. Excellent work, my friends. Notice your Tower of Power. This is how far you have to go to the end. Brian had a great question. Brian from the Panthers classroom. He said, Do we have to do our bonus question? It's not mandatory, but I will be looking very closely, and my friends that do the bonus questions will be incentivized. I'm looking for you to go above and beyond while you're home. And it's also just a really good way to test yourself. See how many of those bonuses you can acquire. Let's keep going. All right, let's use the protractor to measure this angle. So this one's a little bit tricky. Let's make sure we have 0. It's a 180 degrees, so a half of a circle. So 0 is going to be right here. We have X and we have Y. Now let's measure around. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Here's 90, 100, 110, 20, 130, 140, 150. It's a little bit more than 160. Let's see if we can get it perfectly. That's 161, 2, 3, 163. Let's double check. Nice work, my friends. All right, let's construct a 130-degree angle using this protractor. It's got to be 130 degrees. We'll increase by 5 here. Remember, it starts at 0. Let's increase it by 5, 10, 15, 20. All right. There's 90. Let me give you a really good view of that. There's our 90-degree angle. It's larger, though. 130 degrees. Look how wide it is. Nice work. All right, let's construct a 140-degree angle using the protractor. Again, we're going to go all the way to 140 degrees. All right, my friends, excellent job. I'm very proud of you. If you have any questions about this Zearn lesson or on your exit ticket, you can call me. You can shoot me a private message on Google Classroom. I'll answer you as soon as I see it. Nice job, and can't wait to see you guys next time. Take it easy.